guys, it's Janelle. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to review the movie Baahubali, which is an Indian movie that I've recently watched on Netflix. It was recommended to me after watching the RRR movie, which I reacted to. If you're interested, I'll link it down below. I divided into many parts and just to experience the movie in a different way and try not to sacrifice scenes, many main scenes from the movie. So for this movie, I just wanted to watch it off screen, just to, I don't know. I just felt this movie needed to be watched off screen and give a proper review. And the one that people have recommended me the most was actually the second installment. But of course, I wanted to watch the first, so that I knew what was it about, and just for continuity reasons. And I think I'm going to react to the second installment, so stay tuned for that. But for today's video, I'm just going to give my overall review of the movie. In summary, I did enjoy it, so I really liked the movie. It's not the kind of movie that I would rewatch twice. It's a movie that it's on the category of the movies that I watch once and I will always remember, but I'm not watching again. I actually took some notes of the movie because, like I said, it's a very complex. I'm not sure how to explain it, but the storyline is very simple, and I appreciate the simplicity of the storyline. But on the other hand, it's complicated for me because it isn't packed with cultural rights, myths that, like I said, if you're not from that culture, ethnicity, maybe it might be complicated for you, as it was for me, because like I said, I'm not familiar with the myths and legends of the Indian culture, right? So like I said, it was a little bit complicated to comprehend for me on certain things, and I had to kind of look into it and research a little bit more about the story and about the mythology around that, right? So the first thing I just wanted to comment on is the music. The music and the entry music reminded it immediately of Troy, one of my favorite movies of all time, which possibly I will review in the future because I really want to talk about how much I love this movie. But basically, the entrance of the movie and the show of the map kind of reminded me of Troy, and also the type of music that was selected, very similar. The entry shot, I will say it's my favorite scene. It's a long scene, and it pictures an injured woman that's escaping some soldiers, a few armed men, and is escaping with a child in her arms. She's bleeding. She has been like injured on her back. She's escaping them and she is fighting them, and she won them in a sense. So she killed them, and she's embarking herself on this journey with this waterfall that's impeding on her. It's kind of epic. It's beautiful. The waterfall represents a turning point. It represents an entry point. It's just a connecting point between present, past, and future. It's just gorgeous, and you can see a shot that's from the bottom up, which usually it's a shot that signifies the grandiosity of the character. But then you see her very big because it comes from the bottom, and then you see in the background the waterfall, which is bigger than her, and it's kind of overwhelming and wrapping her. And as we can see, that will cause her death. She will die to sacrificing herself, and the child will live. And we don't know who the child is, but at this point, I presume that he was some type of hero, royal, someone very important. It's going to embark on a great journey and of adventures to regain his identity and his throne, in a sense, or his name. And his name is Baahubali, comes from the family of Baahubali, which it names the movie. But the name that was given to him upon adoption is Sivudu, I believe. Sivudu, I wrote it down just because I want to remember all the names. It was found in the water and saved, and he was adopted. So the woman kind of gave in to and she was powerless in front of the forces of nature. So again, many themes here. Nature has a great impact in this movie as a character on its own, and it's not just a background. It's a forefront character, and it impacts and affects the relationships of all characters. So there's a bond with nature, and like I said, this waterfall, it's a symbol and it's a connecting point between the characters and the past and future. I will say that I like when movies take advantage of the kind of metaphysical, spiritual themes, and like I said, connecting it to nature. Um, this is the story of a hero and adventurer. It's finding his own identity. There's a lot of symbolism about the mask, personality, change of character. There is a scene in which he finds a mask falling down the waterfall, and he searches for the woman who was holding it and wearing it. And this mask, of course, represents the ambiguity, represents the masquerade, what's hidden behind the mask, what needs to be discovered. So great themes over there. And like I said, nothing new really. Those are themes that are quite cliche that you find in many movies, but the way they're presented here are very unique and the colors are beautiful. I would say the CGI, it's something that was a problem for me in this movie. In certain scenes, I think it was appropriate, even though it was very clear and very evident. But like I said, at the same time, it was suitable for the scene. It gave the supernatural element, but in certain scenes, it was like too much. I think the CGI really drew too much of my attention compared to what was happening on screen. Love story was very unique, was very beautiful. The songs actually were kind of empowering. I thought that I was gonna hate them. I don't usually like musicals or musical scenes. They have to be specific movies, but in this particular movies, they were not very, like I said, they did not really take too much of my attention, and they were very measured. I don't think they were overcoming too much and overbearing. I really love when the scene when he returns the mask to her, and this girl, I think her name is Avantika, and there's a scene in which she looks at herself in the waterfall, in the water, in their reflection through the waterfall, and then she turns around and he shows himself and gives her the mask, back the mask, and he basically states that he's enchanted by what lies beyond the mask and not the mask itself. So I thought that was very poetic. So the story is very simple, as I stated, but the emotions, the relationships between the characters, very palpable, and like I said, very enchanting and impressive. The it's This movie features a war against evil. It really does, and how one person makes a difference in the story. So that's truly empowering, and it's very culturally oriented. That's why I had difficulties understanding everything because, like I said, culture is very important in this movie. So if you're not very familiar with it and you're not culturally competent, you might miss certain connections with the myths. So it touches like upon their epic world, and like I said, it's unknown to me. So I just wanted to share that. I do feel like the first scene just shows off the power of women. I think this movie is one of the most beautiful feminist movies that I've seen, and it done in a most beautiful and respectful way without pressing the subject too much and doing it in a very natural way, which is what I like. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comments what you liked about this movie. Is it worth watching for you? I totally recommend. I think it's an experience, and it could be considered a cult movie, I will say. So with a lot of defects like many other cult movies, but like I said, they capture they're very culturally oriented, that they become a cult in like in that particular country. So I think it's a movie that should be seen, and I don't think I'm going to watch it again, but I'm definitely going to continue watching the other installments, and I will be posting a reaction of it. So stick around for that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!